Perfect. Perfect. I'll take it.
There you go. That's not As far as the DD carve-out is concerned, with HB 2155, that has not come above the line, hasn't, and maybe that is because that there's not a lot of interest in it. I think, though, I think, though, that it's being held in reserve because right now there's a pilot program going on to test the waters and see how enveloping the DD community in KanCare, to see how that's going to work. There's a lot of fear, and I think it's justified. But with the pilot program, maybe we'll be able to iron some of the flaws in the system if they exist. I'm going to assume they exist. We're going to be able to iron some of those flaws out before it rolls out, before it's scheduled to roll out in 2015. And then again, if we're not able to iron out those problems, we have 2155 as a kind of an escape route to back out of the program and to continue with the CDDO managed care programs that we currently have. So I think it serves a purpose. I think it's probably a good thing that it didn't come up this year. It's being held in reserve so that it'll give us an out if things don't work out with the pilot program. As far as the waiting list is concerned, I've been talking with KDAD quite a bit on this one because I've received a lot of information. I've heard a lot of different numbers bounced around. The most alarming number I heard was 4,000 people on the waiting list, and that's ridiculous. So I talked to KDAD, and actually they had heard a similar number, oddly enough, and did a test about a year ago. They started trying to get in contact with the people who are on the waiting list. Great deal of those numbers were disconnected. There was no one at that address. They contacted by mail and by phone. They weren't able, and then they got the CDDOs involved trying to contact them directly. After all of that cleansing of the list, so to speak, the number came back more at like 2,100, which is still a high number, but it's a lot better than 4,000 across the state. Now, of those 2,100, first off, understand that in urgent situations, there is an avenue to get off of the waiting list. So in critical care situations, violence and that sort of thing, there are avenues to get off of that list at a faster rate. Currently, autism is not listed as one of those critical issues, and I am pretty sure we need to get that changed. There are also a lot of minor situations included in those 2,100, things like people who need wheelchair ramps or wheelchairs, or in-home care that could be provided very easily. That's why I asked KDAD to compile a list of some of those lesser needs so that we as a community, I can't speak for Wichita or what have you, but at least the people who are in our community, we can take care of. We have churches, we have social organizations that will gladly step up to solve some of those minor problems. The autism insurance, I agree, it hasn't made any waves whatsoever yet. That one faces kind of a two-edged sword. It's a mandate, which no one's real fond of mandates. But at the same time, it's fiscally responsible because providing early care saves money, even to the state in the long run. So I'm hopeful that even with this sitting in the garage, that this could be a motivator for insurance companies to start looking at ways that they can provide ABA service within their insurance policies.